Hey YouTube family and GN subs, how are you? Hope you're having a great week. I have some breaking GN news. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Humberto Gray, attorney at law practicing in sunny Southern California. And what is breaking GN news? Good news. That's the GN. That's what I'm known for, folks. We bring you good news, and today we have a lot of good news. We have two questions that were posed in the comment section, and for my GN subs, that is good news subscribers, I answer your questions. So if you post a question in the comment section, I'll answer it. And there's two today at the end of the video. Great questions that come from my GN subs, and I'm gonna answer them. So a lot to unpack today. Let's get at it. All right, good news. We've been hearing a lot about TPS, right? Temporary protected status. Well, there was litigation, and it seemed for 337,000 recipients of TPS status, they were going to lose it. Well, the good news, it's not going to happen. So for these designated TPS countries, automatic extension of EADs and status until June 30th, 2024. That is fantastic news, folks. All right, another bit of good news. Title 42, you've been hearing a lot about that in the news, right? So Title 42 basically was a pretext under the Trump administration to keep individuals from coming into the United States and claiming asylum. Well, Title 42 is basically for pandemic, but the pretext was, oh, we're gonna keep them out because we're in the middle of a pandemic when these people were coming in claiming asylum. So Title 42, gone. That's good news. Individuals who are claiming asylum will be able to come through the border and process in a very reasonable and efficient manner. It's going to take some work. There's tons and tons of individuals waiting to come in from the inability to do so in the last 2 or 3 years. All right, so the American Immigration Lawyers Association has identified a lot of cases being unlawfully rejected. So when you file a case, sometimes you have a due date, right? You send it to immigration, they send it back, and you get what's called a rejection notice. Two main reasons for rejection notices. Number one, signatures. They say that you didn't sign them, and you look, you actually signed your application. Two, inaccurate pages. So the pages, sometimes when it comes back like an RFE, you replace one of the pages in the packet, okay? You can't have old edition forms with new edition form that's included in the application. They're not gonna accept it, it's gonna be rejected. However, if you look and you see that everything is done properly, send it back in, ask for supervisory review. Make sure that it gets in there, especially when there's a timing issue, right? You wanna make sure if it was done correctly, send it back in, request supervisory review, and have them accept the application. All right, I-589, what is that? That's an application for asylum. They are allowing electronic filings. That's great news because a lot of times on asylum, you have to come to the US, you have to file within a year. Under the old system, if you mail it in, it could arrive months later. Really, you get stamps that are late. Now you're over the year. With the electronic filing, it's automatic, right? You know exactly the date that you filed. So that's good news for asylum seekers. All right, we got some GN for Cubans. So Cuban nationals, the US consulate is opening January 2023 for IV, for family visas. They had opened temporarily for non-immigrants, some non-immigrant visas, but now they'll be in full operation for family visas. That's great news. All right, let's go to the first question. This is a great question. The question is, how on earth can you have unused family visas? So it's when I talk about the unused family visas going towards the employment-based visas. So you're able to use on the employment and unused visas from the family categories, all right? Now, the reason there are unused visas is because some countries have their own visa category. Typically, those countries, Philippines, China, Mexico, they have separate visa allocations because typically we have a lot of immigrants from those countries. So they have their separate allocation, and then for all others, if they're unused, they don't go to those separately allocated, family visas. They actually go to the employment-based visas. Thank you so much, Wanda, for posting in the comment section and being a GN sub. Really appreciate it. Next question. My GN subs are so smart. So in one video, I was explaining the 3 and 10-year bar. An individual who leaves the country and comes back in, they're subject to the 10-year bar. If they came back in illegally, they can't wait 10 years in the U.S. If they came back legally, then they can wait the 10 years in the U.S. That's a new case, right? New law. So the question that was posed is when you say somehow get a visa, because if you're here unlawfully, and you go out of the U.S., it's unlikely that the U.S. consulate is going to give you a visa to come back in. So in these cases, usually what happened, individual comes into the U.S. and they have a 10-year multiple entry visitor visa. So they've had this visa in the passport. Let's say they came in on the 2nd year to the U.S., they overstayed, they went back, they came back subsequently on that same visa. That's how they come back in the U.S. legally, and they're able to wait the 10 years here in the U.S. For the 3 and 10-year bar. So they can wait here in the U.S. The 10-year period, and if they subsequently qualify for the green card, they could pick it up here in the U.S. All right, YouTube family and GN subs, thanks so much for watching GrayLaw TV. Click below, like and subscribe. See the notification bell? Go ahead and hit it. Become a GN sub. I will answer your questions that you pose in the comment section. All right? All right, we'll see you next time.